Look, every guru will tell you that, okay, start a side hustle while you're doing a job. And that's a myth people are telling you, because what you're doing is you're going to start Uber or doing some small app work or extra side hustle, extra work of 20 hours a week. All you're doing is adding up a side pocket money in your wallet. What you're doing is you have rented out yourself to a landlord. You are not making something work for you. So that's just a myth that you're creating for your mind to satisfy yourself that I'm doing something extra. As long as you cannot create something in the long run that can run without you and put money into your pocket, that's a waste of time and energy, and that's a trap you're going into. You're already fallen into. So the myth of starting a side hustle without the vision of it running, without yourself physically present there, if you don't have to be present in that side hustle and it can still put money in your pocket around the clock or around the table, then it's not a side hustle. It's not a business. It's just an extra job that you have done or you're starting just to satisfy yourself that you are capable of doing something extra. That means you're just renting out yourself towards another business just to satisfy yourself, but they're taking the leverage. We are in the era of infobesity. Just like obesity, there is infobesity, means we are overcrowding ourselves with information and we are satisfying ourselves by saying that, okay, if I learn more, if I do more courses, if I do more things, I will be more of, in a way, informative person or a person that can create something. What we are doing is we're just gathering ourselves lots of information by taking online courses because it satisfies our hunger that we are being more productive. But actually, what we are doing is we are just putting burden on ourselves. What you should be doing is, rather than being in a process of infobesity, you should start creating something. Just learn what you need to learn to create something or to solve a problem. As soon as you learn that part, start building it, start creating, start solving problems. The way you create the capacity, the pace at which you create solutions or build something that can solve problems, the way and the faster, the quickest, that at that pace you will make more money. And that's the ultimate goal, to be successful, to create something, to be of usefulness to the society. Why saving money and budgeting is a scam that we have been told that, okay, save the money for your future and you will be good. That's average person mentality, and that's what most of the people do among us, and we all been culprit of that thought process. Because what we can be, we can save 10 pounds, 5 pounds a week on a coffee, and we will not be having the mindset of an entrepreneur or a business person. Because 5 pound, 10 pound a week, people will tell you, okay, accumulate that over 10 years of period with 1 week. It will not create you wealth. It will give you some satisfaction. Oh, got few hundred pounds or over the period of 10 years or a few thousand pounds. That's not wealth. That can be lost anytime. And you don't have any surety of that. The only best formula is invest in yourself. The money you get, the more you invest in yourself, the more value you create inside yourself, and the better you become for the marketplace. And you have to start investing into assets that can increase over time in value and without giving you negative pressure. That's another factor. Not take on assets or things that can give you pressure, even though they are increasing in value. It depends. So you have to choose your path very carefully, rather being cringy and being a greedy person over 10 pounds every week or every month. The institutional trap of home ownership for a common person is a very lucrative thing. That's why we call it a trap, because when you buy a home for 30 years on a mortgage at a young age or at a later age, you are bounding yourself to a certain place just because of some bricks. And it is costing you mortgage with interest, it's costing you insurance, taxes, bills, and you are not free to go anywhere. If an opportunity pops up across the country, what's going to happen? You are bound there. You cannot move because you have an asset in your mind. You have an asset, but you have a liability that is making you stay at a place, and you cannot avail that opportunity. And that's the point people don't understand. The trap is to buy these liabilities, you stick with them, and then you feel like you are growing, you have grown up over the period of 30 years, but you have lost most of the opportunities inside your lifetime. Buying a home, it can be lucrative when you have settled yourself. Doing it at the beginning of your career, it's a trap. You should avoid that, all of us, because we should use that time availing opportunities, investing in ourselves, and investing in businesses and moving forward and building things. Two extremes: quiet quitting and extreme accountability in your corporate work. These are two opposite things. Why shall we not just exaggerate or shout out when we are being used by corporates? The corporate energy, what they're going to be using, they're going to be using your 110% of your energy and not giving you any reward, and they can replace you within a week. It feels like a foolish act what we are doing, but we cannot do anything. So what you should do is use that corporate job as a learning procedure and treat it like a university where you are learning the practical skills: management, operations, sales, everything to run a business, and use that skill and leverage that for the later part of your life. So don't take it as a losing thing, and don't overdo things. Use that whenever you are doing something or overdoing something, treat it as a learning curve. Don't devalue yourself. You have to increase your value within your mindset first. Then you will be able to understand how can you leverage that corporate ladder that is abusing you most of the time. If you abuse yourself or let yourself abused, you will be going into that pitfall. All you have to do is change your mindset, treat it like a day job or a university where you are learning, and in the evening or later in life, you have to use that skill to build something for yourself.